Another day, another IUL in my inbox. And it's nationwide again. I really don't understand how agents set policies up like this and then just go to sleep at night. This client reached out to Power 3 Financial, but not to me specifically. So I got this illustration, looked at it for like 2 seconds, said, holy f***. Now we're gonna go through it together for the first time. Welcome to my office. Let's get into it. Nationwide is on your side, or is it? I guess we're gonna find out. So this is Nationwide. This is their indexed universal life accumulator 2. And wouldn't you know that right here, we get a great little foreshadowing of how this policy is gonna be put together. Good old WFG. All this stuff is great, but not when your policies look like trash. Like, you can be the best A plus rated insurance carrier, and agents get a hold of the product and turn it into trash. We have got a 21-year-old male client who got a preferred plus non-tobacco health rating, and the death benefit amount, $700,000. Option 2, meaning it's an increasing death benefit. Agents, why do you think that a 21-year-old needs that much coverage in a permanent policy? Because, yes, I didn't talk to this client personally. However, no kids, not married, no mortgage. $700,000. You gotta be kidding me. He's gonna be paying $400 a month. And since I haven't mentioned it, this policy has been in force for multiple years. So they have been paying $400 a month as a 21-year-old into this policy. Okay. Oh, and then what is happening here on policy year 2, when the client is 23, we have a policy change where the death benefit switches to option 1 to a level death benefit. Why? Literally why? This is not the first time I've seen this. This is actually like the 3rd time in the last week from WFG on a nationwide policy. Why are we switching to option A year 2? Well, here's our guaranteed numbers. And in the guarantees, we don't have our index allocation, so this is showing that we're earning 0 to 1%. Now, as we get into this, we look at year 1, where the client is contributing $4,800 for this $700,000 death benefit, and the total value of the policy after a year would be $477, and we got no cash value. And we're not going to have any cash value until year 9. Year 9. Holy shit. So we're saying that after 10 years, this person would have contributed $48,000, and this policy is going to guarantee that you could cancel and get $3,300 back. Or you just keep contributing and you still got your $700,000. Now, remember how I said that this death benefit option was switched in year 2 and how like that doesn't make any sense? So when you have an increasing death benefit, the accumulated value gets added to the death benefit at the throughout the policy's life. So each year. So that's why our death benefit is now $700,000 and $477 and not just $700,000. So it went up one time and then it was leveled out. Doesn't make any sense. But okay. So our guarantee is not looking so hot. Yeah, that's what I thought. I was waiting for when is it going to lapse. So this person, hey, client, your guarantee with this policy is that you'll pay $158,000 over your lifetime. And even if you wanted to keep the policy is gonna lapse when you're 54. Now, these are our non-guaranteed hypothetical projections, okay? We have one that is showing a 6.28% return, and the other alternate return is showing a 3.3% interest rate. So we have 50% and 50%. So we have a 50-50 split with the JPM Mercury and the BNP Global Age Factor High Par. God damn it. So what this agent has also done is put 100% of this client's money into 2 proprietary indexes. So funny. The S&P 500 was an option. Yeah, we could have used that. Anyway, okay, a 6.28 is not horribly high. But in this case, the reason I'm like, is because these indexes have no goddamn history to even make someone feel confident in saying to someone, hey, yeah, these indexes are going to return 6.28%. I can't even fake say it inside your policy. How do you know? We have no history to go back on. Anyway, when we're looking at these projections, we have the non-guaranteed 6.28. We still have 3 years of 0, which unfortunately is where this client is at inside their policy in real time. This is where they are. So what have they contributed into their policy? Oh, just like $12,000 plus after 10 years. Now, instead of only having $3,300 in our cash value, we've put in $48,000 and we have $41,000. Okay. The death benefit went up to $703 because we switched it to level on year 2, which is so dumb. But okay. So let's keep scrolling. And if we keep scrolling, we're going to get to year 20. On year 20, this person has now contributed $96,000. We've got $135,000. Okay. $703,000 in the death benefit still, obviously. $144,000's gone in. Now we have $306,000. We're $51,000. Okay. It's not bad. So now, 56 years old. We've got $441,000. 5 more years, we've got $627,000, and our death benefit started going up again, which is good because that does mean that we're making or we're creating enough value in the policy that we're reaching those tax limits. So our death benefit needs to increase so that we maintain risk towards the insurance carrier side and not the client. So great. Policy's value is increasing to that extent. And here we go on age 66, 45 years later, $216,000's gone in. We've got almost $900,000, and now we've got $1 million. That's all right. What's going to happen? So this client, they're telling you, hey, you should fund it until you're 70. Okay, reasonable. But that's $235,000. That turned into supposedly 1.2. Not bad in 1.4. It's honestly, no, I'm surprised at how well it is returning inside this policy. Granted, it is a long-ass time, and it's $400 a month, which is a pretty decent amount of money. So let's keep scrolling. If you're a life insurance agent and you feel like, damn, Casey knows a lot of you can get on my level. All you need to do is check out lifewise.io, and you can get access to every single detail and information that I talk about in my videos, in-depth product knowledge, training, support, community, resources, you name it. You should check it out. Okay, it stays in force the whole time. I would have loved to see income coming out right here so that we could really see how the cost of insurance is affecting the policy and really what's going to come out, because ultimately that gives us an idea of the longevity of the policy, right? Based on those loan rates that we have available. So, okay, it's a really rough start, but not the worst policy I've ever seen. So let's go check out those guidelines. So here are our guidelines. We have our no lapse guaranteed premium, which is the absolute bare minimum for the first 20 years of the policy. And it's $120 a month. So that's $1,440 a year. Okay. So we're contributing more than the minimum, which is good. I'm just going to write that down. $1,440 for the year is the minimum contribution, which is $120 a month. Then we have the target premium. The target premium. If you've watched enough of my videos, you know that the target premium is the goal amount. It's the real minimum. It's the amount of money that will keep the policy in force, keep the policy happy, hopefully build a small cash value down the road, and hopefully you won't ever be asked to contribute more money, and you might still have the option to stop funding the policy like we saw in this illustration. And that amount is $45.27 a year. So just remember that 400 times 12 is $4,800. So this agent set this person up to barely overfund the target premium. So what's the max contribution, you ask? Well, the guideline annual premium is right here. And that's $22,824 a year for a 21-year-old. Oh my God. I just really don't understand. Like, why? This reminds me of an interview I did with an agent one time, and he was like, yeah, I get the minimum amount of coverage for the most amount of money my client wants to pay, but then I just put a little extra room, like $20,000 or $30,000 a year. What do you mean? Just in case you got an extra $20,000, $30,000, drop it in. No way. Anyway, I'm sorry, again. The thing with this policy is that it has potential. I guess. You know what? We're going to go back to the indexes because you know what? We need to. These are the two indexes that this person has allocated the money to, or this agent. They're both uncapped, right? Strong start. They're both uncapped. And then the participation rate. 190% for Mercury and 240% for BNPP. 0% floors. No spread, right? Great. And what's this one? Oh, no spread and no extra charge. Wonderful. Thank you, agent, for not choosing one of them. And then, you know what? Hey, we'll let you run it at 6.28. So that's what they're doing. Okay. So what's the problem with these indexes? Well, I already know that they're brand new. And you can find it here in the illustration. It's like they don't even try to hide it. Let's see. JP Morgan Mercury established April of 2022. All right. So we got 3 years. BNP Paribas established April 2022. So we got 3 years of history. The high participation rates of 190 and 240. Where is that coming from? Well, that's coming from the fact that there's no history to rely on to confidently say to a client, hey, you should put your money here because over the last 20 years it's returned to this. No, we can't do that. So the insurance carrier is saying, hey, agents, tell your clients that this index is going to give them double whatever the index performance is. So if that index returns 2% in either of these cases, we're going to get 3.9 and over 4%, right? Instead of just the 2, because they're going to double the participation or the amount that you're participating in the overall growth of the index. So that just tells me, and it should tell you, that they're not confident that these indexes are going to return anything. So they're willing to give you, policyholder, double whatever it does return. Ooh, fun. I just found the historical returns of the JP Morgan Mercury High Par, and we already know that it only came out right here, okay? So this one isn't even completely accurate because it came out in April. We just saw that. So they said for that last year, it returned 6.2, and hypothetically, the IUL would have been credited 13.58. All of this data here, this is all what we call look back data. It's not real. It's if this index would have been available, this is what you could have possibly gotten. Not real. Because if we scroll down here, the 5-year return of this index, 2.19%. It hasn't even been around for 5 years. The 17-year and the 15-year, 6%, 6.2, 6.3. Okay. But all of this is all including the participation rate, which is hypothetical. And if you saw it before, and if you didn't scroll back, because just because I didn't mention it doesn't mean it wasn't there, the guaranteed participation rate of those two indexes was 65%. So they could change it and just be like, you know what? It returned 6.2%, but now you're only going to get 65% of the growth credited to your IUL. Sorry. And more fun, here is the BNPP. And we know, once again, same flippin' deal here. It returned to 5.46 the last 8 months of that year. Okay, sure. And its 5-year return, 1.98. That's why I'm laughing, because this 6.28% is a bunch of bullshit.
These ones aren't even actually returning in real time, even with the look back data, 6.28%. It feels criminal. It should be illegal. So I'm not confident that these indexes are going to perform. I'm not confident that this person would see a 6.28% return in their illustration. And I'm not confident at all that the cost of insurance isn't one day going to go up high enough with that $700,000 of death benefit to make keeping that policy without contributing more almost impossible. So does a 21-year-old need $700,000 of insurance regardless? No. Did they need this policy set up this way? No. Was there any reason to change the death benefit option to level on year 2? No. Was it a good idea to set up a 21-year-old to fund a permanent cash value life insurance policy with only the target premium? No. Not at all. I don't know what the...
And that's a wrap, folks. I'm not going to be showing you the correct way to set up this policy, but if you've watched my videos, I bet you have a pretty good idea already. That death benefit should have been $100,000, and the guideline annual premium, the max contribution, should have been $4,800. It's that simple! Thanks so much for watching, everybody. If you got value from this video, if you found it educational, please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any videos that are coming in the future. But for now, bye!